black community, because if you just say black people or blacks, it sounds bad. But if you say the black community, for some reason, like I heard that more yesterday than I ever have. People calling up, just want to comment, the black community has to realize, because when you put community behind it, all of a sudden you're safe.
Although I will say on this one, Chris Rock, I don't think was going to have much to defend Michael Richards on. I'm sure that.
Wow. No, but the truth of the matter is, if a white guy had done Chris Rock's material verbatim, it really would come off. It would be funny, but I think he would get a lot of complaints.
Yeah.
A lot of complaints.
We should get Patrice O'Neal on today.
Why?
Because he's our black...
Teasing, of course. I would love to have Patrice on.
He's our black friend.
Yeah.
Does comedy.
That's
so
it.
Kind of helps today. Hey, you want to hear Sinbad or Paul Rodriguez?
It's Pryor and Carlin as far as I'm concerned. So whichever one you pull out first, I mean, it's all gravy from here.
Flip a coin. So how can you then make it a big thing where you can't use it in any context?
It's very few words, I think, have that double standard. But I look, I don't really mind it that much with this one because it's very...
You dating a black chick?
No, man, but this is a very rare occasion you're going to actually legitimately need to use it. And it's like, it's kind of hard as a white guy to go, my rights are being stifled. They're really not. I mean, but when we're discussing it like a news story, that annoys me that we can't use it. But aside from that, it's like, what else do you want to use it aside from, when you're being, sexual with a girl or, or someone doesn't, get your food fast enough? Then it's legitimate. But, I mean, there's very few places to use it. Why don't we have any black guys that we can talk to?
We got Patrice.
We don't know any.
Where's Patrice?
He's on hold. We got to take a break, though. We have to. We're really late. And then we'll get Jamie from the Laugh Factory on.
Yeah, I want to hear Patrice's opinion on this.
Yes.
He's slightly racially opinionated.
All right.
Slightly.
Why don't we do that next, then, okay? It's the O&A virus spreading across America. Always giving her money.
The hard way.
Patrice O'Neal, what's up, buddy?
Good morning, sir. How are you?
There he is.
What up?
Patrice, I'm sure you've been up all night following this breaking story.
Right.
I ain't been up all night. I thought I was getting stalked this morning. I got to call him.
Hey, you know what? I got to tell you, man, CNN gets Sinbad and we get Patrice O'Neal.
Yep.
Well, they said, how Sinbad, Hammer Pants always has a good...
At least we got a black guy.
Well, Sinbad, don't say that.
Come on.
He's more white than black, Patrice. Come on.
The guy's got freckles.
Hey, look, man. First of all, about Cosmo, I'm old enough to follow him from Friday. He's one of these conceptual Andy Kaufman type dudes.
Yeah.
So when I saw the video, I thought at first, he was just doing some old weird, I only understand what I'm doing stuff. You know what I mean? I didn't think he was racist until he apologized. Until he's like, I'm sorry, because sometimes I have Tourette's racism and I didn't mean it and I just lose it. So I said, you idiot. Now, okay, and then you see he was on Letterman last night, which means last night he had 5 red dots on his forehead because Jerry sent out some hitmen because season 7 is coming out on DVD like in a couple of days.
Yep.
And he better hope all the guilty white people who's not going to buy season 7 is replaced by black people who think this is hilarious. It's funny to me.
You know what? You bring up a great point, though. His apology was so bad. It was one of the worst apologies I've ever seen for anything like this.
He was apologizing for being a racist.
Yeah, and then he said he wasn't a racist, but then he said he's got his own problems. And then he said Afro-Americans, like he used a term from 1975.
Was he eulogizing X? What's the matter with him?
Yeah. Afro-Americans.
All I'm going to do is picture him sliding through the door going, Jerry Coon.
Jerry. I want to apologize to the Negroes, Jerry. How do I do it? We'll get you on Letterman.
He's so stupid. I was watching it thinking, okay, first of all, that the dude, first, another thing, America makes me sick. White people make me sick because I don't need no apology. Like, that word has Cosmo Kramer using that word has no power at all. I've been rolling if I was that dude up on the top. See, this is what makes me mad, though, on the black side, is that the camera didn't catch that jerk. that's made Kramer mad enough to go back to the 60s.
See, the comics are the ones that go, what was this ass saying?
Except for Sinbad, who says, you never get sexist or racist. That boat act.
And you never go all out against an audience member.
Yeah, Sinbad said that, Patrice. I don't know if you heard it. He goes,
I didn't hear the whole thing. I heard him at the end say the reprehensible word. And it is, but it was way more. It's like saying the C word right now and going, and then like you call a woman who's talking the C word in the audience, and she goes, "You harassed me, and I was so afraid for my life." Like, and maybe in 1930, if you said that, it would be horrifying because you could actually choke her and then say, and the cop will shake your hand. But in now. That's your power. So I'm not making an excuse for Cosmo because he said the word, but it has no power like it had for like Sinbad to announce as if we're still in the same position we was in the 60s.
Yeah.
I want white boys to be able to say what they feel like saying because I don't want to feel condescended. To where it's like, okay, Negro.
Bravo, Patrice.
We'll take care of you.
Well spoken.
You call me a Negro, and I want to call you everything I want to call you because I don't ever want to stop being able to call white people crackers and burners and destroyers of the earth. So you can have Negro.
Burners and destroyers.
Exactly. Stupid bunch of inventors.
You invented nothing.
You go to the moon, people.
The nerve of you creating medicine.
I'm sure.
Listen to me. Listen to me. If it wasn't for white people, medicine would still depend on the weather.
I just don't think, man. I didn't think he was a racist till he apologized.
The apology was worse than what he did.
Because he's a crazy type dude. If you ever watched that show Friday back in the day,
yeah,
he's out of his mind type of guy.
He did all that. It was a weird character he used to do, and then he would just do, like you said, this conceptual stuff. So, but I don't think that's what this was.
Nope. He became a regular. He really blew it, man, because his whole life has been set up to be this dude who wasn't attached. When I used to see him interviewed as a regular dude, he'd be like, and you go, all right, this dude's out of his mind. But last night on Seinfeld, who called and made him apologize, by the way? Somebody had a bullet to his, he was going to get killed last night if he didn't get on there.
Yeah, I think Jerry was going to be on Letterman anyway, right?
Yeah, and was on Letterman.
Yeah, and he decided, something, let me get this idiot out of trouble.
Wait, do we have the apology on tape?
Yeah, why don't we get into that?
You want that with Patrice online? So I would like to hear what his
no problem. Stay right there, Patrice. Here's Kramer on Letterman last night.
We have him live via satellite from Los Angeles. All right, this should be Michael Richards. Michael, are you there?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Hi, Michael. Welcome to the show.
Hello, hi.
How you doing?
I'm not doing too good.
Yeah. Why don't you explain exactly what happened for the folks who may not know?
I lost my temper on stage. I was at a comedy club trying to do my act, and I got heckled, and I took it badly and went into a rage, and said some pretty nasty things to some Afro-Americans. Trash.
This guy's a scream.
Oh, all I wanted was for him to bring me a mint julep.
A mint julep.
Afro-American julep.
Said some pretty nasty things to some colored people, Jerry.
And you see the audience,
colored people.
You see the audience laughing?
The audience is laughing.
They don't understand that Kramer is a character.
This is the slide through the door guy, Kramer guy.
They can't understand that this is actually Michael Richards. They think they're seeing Kramer still.
He's going to do something like they're laughing, waiting for him to do something weird.
Right.
Like, and then ring just went off, Jerry.
Right.
Like they're waiting for him to do that. So they're kind of nervously laughing, waiting.
Bunch of dopes in the audience. They don't realize he's
a different guy. He's not that guy that lives across from Jerry Seinfeld.
They can't separate the two.
Do you hear him, though? He sounds like one of those hostage videos, man.
Oh, yeah, and he looked like when he was squirming in his seat, he couldn't put a sentence together without a big gap, and he was almost crying. The audience is laughing at him. He's using terminology from the 50s.
Yeah. All right, let's get back into it here.
Nasty things to some Afro-Americans. A lot of trash talk. And stop laughing. It's not funny.
And Jerry had to jump in. Stop laughing. It's not funny.
Jerry, you should have led the applause break. That's hilarious that he just said that.
Stop laughing.
Hello, Kramer. Why did you call him a coon?
Kramer.
Coming out.
Stop laughing isn't funny. But it is funny, Jerry. It's a real moment. It's funny.
Stop laughing, because he knew this guy was really trying to apologize, but he couldn't.
But it was
And Jerry's thinking season 7 money.
They could have diffused the situation by going with the laughs with the audience, going, you know.
This was so serious that he was trying to be so serious with this apology that laughter wasn't even a consideration. And the people, when he said Afro-American, I swear to you it looked like an SNL bit or something. Like, no one, it's like it was written for him. All right, instead of African-American, say Afro-American to show how out of touch you are. And then people laugh, and then Jerry jump in. And then Elaine will come out, and George will come out and talk about the Jews and the Asians. And then he couldn't apologize properly.
I didn't even see Jerry's reaction to all that. I know he hit his head as soon as he messed up as he was reading that apology and said Afro-American. I know Jerry wanted to say, cut, you idiot. And another thing, how does Cosmo Kramer, who hasn't been on TV since '86 when they use Afro-American, get on Letterman last night during Jerry's time? Jerry said, Dave, look, call this dude on the phone.
Yeah.
In fact, Jerry said, Dave, call this nigga up. So I can smack him with his stupid face. What's the matter with him? He's so uncomfortable. Let me tell you, man, this dude's so crazy that someone the only way you can really find out what happened is if you just give somebody a tape recorder just off camera, off everything, and really try to talk to them. What were you thinking? I don't really want to write him off as a racist yet because I know how crazy he is. He's Kramer.
He should have spoken through his lawyer, Jackie Childs.
Yeah.
They should have brought Jackie Childs from the show in as his lawyer. And first show Cosmo and apologize. And then the camera pulls back and his lawyer, Jackie Childs, is right next to him. Hysterical. People love Seinfeld. They'd have forgiven him in a second.
Absolutely.
Cosmo, what you say, boy?
Yeah. What you saying, Cosmo? I think we get money out of this.
All right, let's get back to this. Michael Richards on Letterman last night.
And what was you were actually being heckled, or were they just talking and disturbing the act?
That was going on, too.
What a fast thinker.
And did you?
I know. I mean, hearing your audience laugh, you know, and it's. I'm not even sure that this is where I should be addressing the situation. I've already heard you make some jokes about it, and that's okay, you know. But I'm.
Jerry was trying.
I'm really busted up over this.
Oh, shut your mouth. Guys beginning to really have you groveling idiots. Shut up.
Oh, the groveling isn't even near over, my friend.
Now Letterman's bad for making fun of it. They're mad for laughing because you couldn't handle a situation. Shut your mouth.
I couldn't understand. This takes me back to the Mel Gibson. I'm sitting there like, how much money do you have to be able to be an anti-Semite? Like, why can't you just go ahead and look, I don't like the Jews and you start wars. Let me go. I am, you know.
I got enough money.
Yeah, like, what is these apologies is what makes you seem like, I'm sorry. You know what you should say? I'm sorry. I usually do a better job at hindering my disgust for other races, but I blew it last night under pressure.
Yeah.
Talk about that, man. But, you know, that's the worst thing you can say. He should say I was playing and then keep it moving.
No, he was just, I apologize. It's like he mowed down a schoolyard full of kids in a car.
I don't want that little pussy apology. Excuse me. I don't want that. That apology means nothing to anybody black. It's like, shut up, you racist. Matter of fact, white people go, figures. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Kramer's a racist.
All right, let's get back into this.
I didn't like the way he was, he's like, being mad at Letterman for making fun. What is Letterman supposed to do? Not address it, you jackass?
Yeah.
Yeah.
couple of jokes were made, Jerry.
I mean, that's okay. I mean, since I couldn't do it, you might as well.
I'm really busted up over this, and I'm very, very sorry to those people in the audience, the blacks, the Hispanics, the whites, everyone that was there that took the brunt of that anger and hate and rage and how it came through. And
wasn't the whites or the Hispanics?
I'm concerned about more hate and more rage and more anger coming through. Not just towards me, but towards a black-white conflict.
Now he represents all of white people
in this country and how blacks feel about.
He actually started coming off like he represents white people and doesn't want this to ruin the relationships between blacks and whites. The great relationship that's going on between blacks and white people.
Who does he think he is, Rodney King or the Ocean? What's the matter with this?
Jerry, can't we all just get along,
You're
Jerry?
a mediocre comic who got a break. Shut up. That's what you are.
I want to hear an apology from Paul Reiser for calling Carlos Mencia a spig. Did you guys see that one?
No, did he?
I'm just messing with you.
Yeah. I'd love to see Reginald Denny hit him with a brick.
I want to see all the YouTubes of every racial outburst of every sitcom star from the mid-'90s.
Yeah.
I got a theory, by the way.
There you go.
I think Kramer was just trying to make a YouTube video. Everybody wants to make a YouTube video, and I think he's like, you know what?
Did a great job.
I got an idea. Watch the hits today on this freaking thing.
Oh, yeah.
Watch the views on this video from the Laugh Factory.
Gregory, by the way.
Right.
If you don't plug Black Phillip for, the 25th, I'm going to call you a racist.
You're doing your Saturday show, your show this Saturday?
Yes, this Saturday on XM.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, Patrice, what?
Saturday night from what, 9 to midnight, Patrice?
Just tell him.
I believe. I don't know the exact time. I think it's 9 to midnight this Saturday.
Who's
Patrice
your
O'Neill
co-host?
on XM.
Cosmo.
Patrice, who's co-hosting? Where'd he go?
Patrice?
What, did he hang up?
He's gone.
Oh, did he hang up? Or
We're not even done with this. All right,
Oh.
look, here's the...
Goddamn.
I know. I like to scream at you in a balcony.
Probably didn't pay his phone bill.
Damn lazy.
A black-white conflict. There's a great deal of disturbance in this country and how blacks feel about what happened in Katrina. And you know...
What? Katrina?
What?
You're unraveling.
He came apart at the seam.
And we would pillage and rape their women. And that's why there are mulattoes. Get a hold of yourself.
The Amistad, Jerry. The Amistad.
It's calculated. And then the aliens came down.
They were bred to run faster.
Talk to me.
The slave owner, Jerry, would breed the bigger black guy with the woman and make the better athlete.
I think he knows exactly what he's saying. He's like, I gotta look as crazy as possible on Letterman.
Apologizing for everything.
Katrina.
The Emancipation Proclamation.
My cats were talking to me. They told me to get on that stage.
Newman put me up to it, Jerry. It was Newman.
And you know, many of the comics, many performers are in Las Vegas and New Orleans trying to raise money for what happened there. And for this to happen, for me to be in a comedy club and flip out and say this crap, you know, I'm deeply, deeply sorry.
Oh, how much more sorry?
God, did he annoy me with that?
Wow.
How about just like, look, man, I got really angry. I screwed up. I apologize. It was rather tasteless and stupid. You know, it's not the way I feel.
But, I was trying to handle it.
Genuine.
Trying to handle it in a certain way where it was going to be irreverent and a little, a commentary on words, and it really came out the wrong way and looked bad. And, sorry about that, but it happens. You're flying by the seat of your pants up there, and you get aggravated, and, yeah.
All right, well, we got more of the apologies
I
from
just
Letterman.
apologized for him.
Emmett Till, Medgar Rivers. Not Dr. King. We didn't
Martin Luther King, Jerry, on the balcony. I don't know what to do about that, but I apologize.
Really bugs me.
Just addresses Jerry for everything.
Right. We have more of the apology from Letterman last night after the break. Also, before we get out of here, Most Dangerous Toys for 2006. This news story is hilarious.
Christmas coming up.
And then... All right, we're back with the Opie and Anthony show. We got Patrice O'Neal back on the line here. This Kramer thing is just taking over the show today.
It's a huge story. Did you hang up on us?
Oh, hold on a minute.
Oh.
I tried to get y'all before.
Would you hang up on us?
Yeah, what happened?
I tried to hang up on y'all before you said people say you gotta go.
We weren't even close to that.
Hey, but listen.
No, your phone card ran out.
And here's the thing. I heard all three of you immediately. This is why I'm. Thank you for letting everyone. Every white person is racist. This is why it's a good thing that Cosmo Kramer, because the first thing Opie goes is, he's lazy. And then Anthony goes, his phone probably got cut off. And then Norton goes, I like to talk to him on a balcony. So,
oh my God.
Shut up, Norton. So, the Cosmo, here's what makes me sick about white people, right? Black people are the only people. Now, look what Mel Gibson, as soon as Jews, they muscled up Braveheart and The Godfather when they thought for a second that they were saying some anti-Semitic stuff. No one but white people are the only people that are in charge of black people's upsetness about the word, the N-word. Now you got black people saying the N-word. We are comfortable saying the word nigger. We're comfortable with it. We live with it. It doesn't mean anything to us anymore. And some people take that as some type of, oh my God, this is horrifying. But some people like me go, white boy, say what you want to say, man. I'm better than you and better than your stupid words. But white people, racism is a war between soft white people and racist white people.
Yes, white guilt. Mm-hmm. Norton taught me about white guilt over the years.
That's right. How we shouldn't have it. We have to keep fighting because they're getting. Oh. That's not what I meant.
Hey, can we go back to the Kramer audio from Letterman?
Patrice just said something that made me, I forget what I was going to ask you, Patrice.
Yeah.
You raised a good point.
All right, let's get back to the audio. It'll come to you, Jimmy. Kramer on Letterman last night. We're almost done here.
Michael, let me interrupt here for a second and ask a question about had the people doing the heckling or the people who were not paying attention, had they been white or Caucasian or any other race, what would have been the nature of your response then?
It may have happened. I'm a performer. I push the envelope. I work in a very uncontrolled manner on stage. I do a lot of free association and spontaneous. I go into character. I don't know, in view of the situation and the act going where it was going, I don't know. The rage did go all over the place. It went to everybody in the room. But you can't, I don't.
Everyone in the room.
Blacks could feel I'm not a racist. That's what's so insane about this.
Oh,
and yet it's said. It comes through. It fires out of me, and even now in the passion and the that's here as I
he's just lost it.
Confront myself.
It would have been funny if he apologized if he came on and goes, Dave, you know how they are in clubs. They talk all the time and they heckle and they don't tip and their orders are hard to follow. And I'm trying to do my bit and they won't shut up.
He should apologize as Kramer.
Yeah, that's what people wanted.
That would have been fun.
They wanted Kramer.
The thing is this, white people are stereotyped all the time. It's not just black. How do you think it feels like whenever there's sunshine or good things happening or joy, people go, must be a white man around. How do you think we feel having to deal with that? Whenever there's a smile on a child's face,
that's a lot of
white
pressure.
Man responsible for this?
A lot of pressure to live up to.
The worst apology ever given for anything.
Horrid.
Here's the final clip, and Seinfeld finally gets involved a little bit.
When you say I'm not a racist, too, when you have to, blurt that out.
That's a little rough.
You probably are.
Who cares if Cosmo's a racist?
Agreed. Who cares? Exactly.
Yeah, no one gives a crap in the end. He's just trying to, save his reputation so he gets some more projects.
It's like no one is surprised except for white people who live in their goofy little lie that none of you are racist. All of you are.
Hold on, but you are too, Patrice.
I thank God.
All right.
I have finally made it where someone could. I want to be called a racist. That makes me feel like it's all equal.
I believe everyone's a bit racist and everyone's a bit hypocritical.
I'm not a racist. I just find blacks to be less enjoyable than my white friends.
Yeah, and people get confused. They don't think black people could be racist.
No.
I pray that one day we can really be, because I'm ready to.
You're ready to go?
I'm ready to be at the forefront, baby.
I think once it's all accepted, we'll get along like never before.
The first thing I'm going to do is hang all three of you up upside down and beat the bottom of your feet with something hard.
Wow.
I know, our perfect pink feet.
Hey, I've been writing it down. I'm ready.
All right. Yeah, Patrice has a list he's got to get to.
I'm ready, baby.
And he doesn't even want to do that to hurt us. It's just a sexual thing for him. Maybe you can hang us on a swing in your bedroom, creep.
My fault. I didn't finish, and also I want to tickle you.
All right, let's get into the last clip here. Seinfeld getting involved near the end.
And having apologized, is there much more you can do, much more you would like to do?
You should have done a
I just
plug.
have to do personal work.
Oh, please say he's going to go to Africa and adopt a kid.
Just sitting there.
Please say it.
He's just sitting there in silence.
Right.
I think I got to work on myself.
This is what you're going to... rehab. I'm going into rehab. Clear. Takes care of everything, though.
But has he ever held a conversation before? What are you going to do now? The vacuum?
He could have got out of that because he could lie about the context of the video. He could say we was all doing eyes or something. It was a half of a tape that he qualified by saying that he did what they're saying he did. He should have said, look, man, I didn't lose it. You know how I am. I'm nutty. That's why I am cream. That's how I got the part. I'm out of my mind. And that didn't mean it like that. He could have got away with it, but this dummy, and that's another thing. Let me explain something to you. That Sinbad and Michael Richards, and I'm not saying Sinbad is not black, but I'm saying that these are the two most irrelevant racial guys you will ever see. Neither one of them have ever talked about race in their life in public. Now they're in charge of this situation. And Dave Letterman, and none of these guys, Jerry Seinfeld, none of these guys talk about race, and they putting pressure on Kramer for what? To give money to some black cause, to the NWA? Come on, man. Who gives Cosmo is a racist, and now what? Page 2. What's next?
Yeah. All right, here we go.
I'm still reeling from this. It's just been a few days. I don't know yet.
Jerry, is there anything you want to say to Michael here?
I know Michael many years, and I know how he works on stage, and none of that justifies what happened. But I've been talking to him today, and he's someone that I love, and I know how shattered he is about this, and he deserves a chance. That's why I wanted him to come on. He deserves a chance to apologize, and that's all he wanted. And thank you for letting us.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you very much, Michael. I appreciate it. I know it's difficult, and I certainly hope you don't have regrets about being on this show this evening. Thank you. All right, take care.
And then he just kind of sat there looking stupid.
He is a dud as a human. I will say this, though. I respect Seinfeld for bringing him on, because I think that was partial season 7, but partial since
What's
the
Seinfeld got to lose in that situation?
And Letterman handled it well.
Looks like a peacemaker.
Yeah.
You know? And yeah, Letterman ate that up. You kidding? Do you think when Seinfeld walks up to Letterman and goes, "Hey, I'm thinking about, maybe we get Michael onto the show." Yeah.
Not only do you get Jerry Seinfeld, who rarely goes on TV these days, you get Michael Richards.
You get the biggest story in the news, entertainment-wise, and you're gonna have both of the guys on? Yeah. Hell yeah, you say yes.
That's just like us going on Leno.
And they're going to put Sinbad on stage without a shirt and let Michael Richards yell at him. Give him a good scolding.
Hey, Anthony, I didn't hear what you thought. Did you think he was racist?
My whole take on it? Oh, yeah, there's some racism bubbling under the surface there, and it just popped right out of his face But
well, we were discussing this earlier, Patrice. We said, when you get into a confrontation, you really want to go after someone, you go right for the jugular, right for the atom bomb.
He doesn't know the guy. Maybe if he knew that guy and knew that perhaps he was let's say he's a deadbeat dad, he could have called him a deadbeat dad. If he knew,
he did.
He did.
Wait a minute, though. A friend, a comic who was on the show that night gave me a call. And I hadn't even heard about it. He's the one who told me about it. And he said that the same dudes were in the audience the day before messing up the show.
Oh, that's kind of like their gig?
Like, these guys were well hated.
Serial hecklers.
Michael
That's great.
could have been like trying to be the hero to every comic who had to deal with these dudes. And the dude made me mad on the tape where he goes, "That is uncalled for. That was unnecessary, man."
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, let him do what he got to do. And the saddest thing is Michael Richards didn't get off stage until somebody called him a used up has-been who can't get on movies and who can't get TV work.
Yep.
And that might be really the crux of it, is that poor Kramer can't get a job.
Yeah.
And he's just mad at everybody, dude.
And now he's got to go on the apology tour to have any shot with Hollywood.
He's like, what did Fred Mertz do after I Love Lucy? He is the Fred Mertz of our time.
He called Louis Armstrong a coon in the middle of a cigarette commercial on what's his name, on the Milton Berle show.
Yeah, I want to tell everybody to smoke Lucky Strikes, and I'm sorry about what I said.
During a Lucky Strike commercial.
Hey,
he had to go on talk shows and smoke cools to prove that he didn't mean it.
You know, me and Tezzy used to hang out, and
yeah, he's a PR. Huh?
yeah. He's one of the swarthy mud people. I think, light up a Lucky and share it with a black man, but just don't let him end-lip it.
Oh, my God, man. It's just, look, man, it's news because I guess it needs to be, but if you ask black folks, man, first of all, half of them will go, "Who's Kramer?" Because barely anybody black watches Seinfeld.
No, black people don't like Seinfeld.
We're not Seinfeld. Not black people who would get emotional enough to care. Like,
yeah.
It's like, I can't think of a white show where if they came out that somebody was racist on it, that we would all go, "Oh my God, this changes everything we ever thought." Kramer's not beloved in the black community. It's like, you watch it. I mean, thank God I never watched it up until syndication, and for syndication, I got a chance to watch it. But when it was out, and he's not beloved. He's beloved to white people who could get to escape the fact that they are racist, and that, like, what is it going to take now for people to know that it's out there floating around? At least y'all talk about it as fun, as you do your thing. I mean, Anthony's really racist, but at least it's fun to deal with the fact that you are racist. I can have an actual argument with you or Norton.
It's fun.
Or Opie. It's like I can argue. I can't argue with these white people who are now saddened at Kramer. What's it going to take for, like, there'll be a blooper or something, one of the Scooby-Doo characters say it by mistake or something?
That would be...
We're all real people. I thought Casey Kasem made us understand that these phony balonies are real.
Yeah. Hey, you got something, Jimmy?
Yeah, here's what I wanted to ask you. Why do black people not like me when they're in the audience?
Say that again?
Why do black people not like me? I see. You know the look I mean, too.
And you look like somebody we shouldn't like.
That's exactly what it is. He's right.
You are, first of all, you're bald and you're just white. and you know what it is? You look like somebody that we all should be robbing.
But no, it isn't.
And another thing that bugs me about you is every time somebody goes, "Uh-oh, Norton's getting mad, watch out," I go, you can just put Norton inside of a wallet. And it means nothing. So it's like, but black people look at you like you represent things like, okay, you represent Norton to me, and not to me, but I'll tell you what you represent to black folks. You represent, and this is why I love white people being racist, because I like to be mental because I'm a big black guy, so here's what I've been dealing with. It's like a white boy that looks like Norton when I was younger would call me that word and then run as I'm chasing him with my hand around his throat, and then I go, wait, he called me this word, and then it doesn't matter. I get suspended from school, I get arrested, I get whatever. So I had to learn how to deal with that. Norton represents, like, why black people look at Norton and go, ugh, is Norton represents somebody who they want to smack in the face but has this attitude that he can't be touched, i.e., like Kenny. Like, somebody might go, boy, you lucky that big dude ain't with you, man. I like to pop you upside your little white head. But that's what you represent to...
Just from looking at him on the stage?
Yeah, well, yeah, because I knew part of it was the way I present myself on stage. Black people with white performers or white comedians, they like it goofy, they like it silly, they don't like you to have an attitude about race. And then
or an attitude in general, probably.
They don't like it. They don't like an aggressive attitude.
Yeah.
They like an apologetic or silly attitude. They don't like an aggressive attitude.
They deal with empowered white people
and I even said
all the time. They don't want to do it at a comedy club.
Call Billy Burr and ask him about what it feels like. Because Billy does, like, a lot of black rooms,
yes.
Man. He knows. But Billy gets love, and Voss gets love,
Right.
So it's
because I don't talk about the black community the way Billy and Voss do. I don't talk about it like, I don't knock it either, but I don't talk about it like, oh, you got to watch out, the sister's mad. I'm not saying that's all they do, but there's an attitude coming from that I don't have, because I'm not up there trashing black people either. I'm talking about, there's something about the way I talk. It reminds black people of something they don't like. Yeah, and it's not something I'm saying.
You are somebody that black people just instinctively don't like. It's just you look like somebody that black people shouldn't like.
That's exactly what it is.
You look like a cop that will get beat up if he wasn't a cop.
Well, I don't want to
look like he'll get beat up if he wasn't a cop.
But I don't think I would get beat up. I mean, I'm a nice guy.
All right. Hey, but Patrice, while we have you on the phone, what do you think of the guard towers going up in Harlem?
I hear about that.
You haven't heard this? You'll see it on the news tonight. They're pretty much putting up guard towers in Harlem.
These things are
Escape from New York?
Yeah, almost like Escape from New York. But if you look at these towers, have you seen how they operate? They're on hydraulics. And they go to the ground, and the cops can get into this guard tower thing, and then they lift up. They almost look like the Imperial walkers from Star Wars.
They got a cop, and he gets in this thing, and then he rises up 20 feet, and it looks like a guard tower. And he checks out the scene because he can, he can see a lot further and stuff. They got cameras when the guy's not in the thing, and then if there's some kind of something happening on the ground, then
melee.
He lowers the thing, and then he could, jump into action.
Yeah.
They're not those are like the things from RoboCop that they made to try to kill RoboCop. But the reason that's going to be in the hood, from what you're saying, is because white people live in Harlem now. It's damn near white. Starbucks. It's a beautiful place. I told you Harlem ain't what it used to be.
Yeah, Harlem used to be really, really black for the rest of the country, but it's
now. It's to make sure that white people ain't getting beat.
Clinton did that. Bill Clinton did that.
Yeah, he's got an office up there.
He said, "I'm getting my office. I'm putting it in Harlem."
Great.
And a bunch of developers came in behind him and started rebuilding all these historic buildings. And white people started coming up and visiting the tourist attractions. And now they got to put guard towers up to protect these poor bastards.
Patrice always has the angle. It's because the white people are starting to live up there.
Yeah. Where were these magical robots 20 years ago?
Magical robots.
Hey, here's the story. It's real.
I bet you those robots, the robots shut down after 140th.
Automatically, there's a chip in them.
All right, here's the story. It's only 20 seconds.
The NYPD is hoping a new eye in the sky can help them cut crime on city streets. The Skywatch on West 129th Street in Harlem is a two-story tower. According to the New York Post, it has a lookout booth for a cop. There's also 4 cameras, visual sensors, and a high-powered spotlight to zone in on criminal activity. The city has already installed cameras on city buses and subway stations.
It's a guard tower.
Yeah.
It's got the spotlight and everything.
That's right, man. I think there's like a latte place right on 125th and Frederick Douglass, and they'll be changing those names pretty soon too. No more Adam Clayton Boulevard, no more Frederick Douglass. It'll be a nice whatever white people mean.
Fred McMurray Boulevard.
Cosmo Kramer Street.
Cosmo, there's the joke.
Cosmic Lucille Ball. William Frawley Boulevard.
Patrice, always a pleasure.
Thank you.
Patrice is going to be doing a show on XM this Saturday night from 9 to midnight.
What happened? Why are you? Did you leave Web Junk? Someone said that Brewer is on it. Are you not? Did you leave?
No, I left. I left. I mean, and it's like that was a smart thing to do to get Brewer because he talking about Web Junk, right?
Yeah.
It's a smart thing to get him because he just brings an entirely different bunch of people. I'm actually happy they replaced me with somebody that's like Brewer and not like just some lame. But I left because I just couldn't do it no more. I was getting invited to too many Tyra Banks shows, and I'm not into that world. I don't like the world. I don't like all.
Man, that takes a lot of balls, Patrice.
Here's what it means. Patrice was succeeding in getting famous. And he has like this thing where you're not good at being happy. You're not good at being comfortable. You have to be unhappy on some level. You low self-esteem.
Yeah, man. But it's like I miss the money, but that's it, dude. I don't miss talking about Chinese game shows every week, and I just, it's enough. And now the show's taking a turn for the worse. What I believe is because now the girl who introduces the clips is like, and if you on YouTube, this one's a really good one on YouTube tonight. God, they watched it a lot last week. It's like they're trying too hard to make the show. The show was nothing. People can see those clips on the internet. It was like I couldn't make them funny enough to make the show something that was special.
Yeah.
It just was enough, man. And they were smart making Brewer the host because he brings his own thing and he brings his own fans, man. So good luck to him, man. But
I got to tell you, I saw Brewer do it this weekend. He did a great job. He really did.
And it doesn't stink. All you got to do is at least just have some passion for the clips. I can't do it no more, man. I got, like you said, Norton, I got to be miserable to some degree.
All right, Patrice, we got to take a break. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks, man.
Bye, sweetie.
XM show this Saturday night with Patrice O'Neal, 9 to midnight.
It's a relationship show. It's really funny.
Absolutely.
Patrice's disgusting take on relationships, which actually he's really good at it. And I hate to admit that, but he really has a good take on it. So it's a great show.
We got to talk about the OG.